Hi, I'm Mark Goodman. Tonight, MTV Extra presents a wrap-up of The Who's historic Farewell American Tour.
We really can't see much future to these kind of big tours. We're not saying that we're going to not do any more shows, but this will be the last tour.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's our pleasure to have The Who here today. We think they're the greatest rock and roll band in the world, and this marriage of rock and roll and satellites is a thing of the future. And we're announcing today that on December 17th at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, their final concert will be televised live from the Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto.
Unless you've done it, you'll never know what touring is, and it's a nightmare.
So we are here today, as you probably can see, to announce a farewell tour of North America by an arguably one of the greatest bands in music history.
Welcome to Rock Buzz. The Who have announced what they say is their final tour. It's called The Song Is Over, and this time it might actually be. The farewell run kicks off August 16th in Florida and ends September 28th in Las Vegas. 16 shows, North America only, no Europe, no second leg. Roger Daltrey is 81, and Pete Townshend turns 80 this month. For once, their age is the story. Not just a name pulled from the catalog, The Song Is Over is one of The Who's most reflective tracks. Piano-heavy, mournful, and fittingly honest. This tour is being billed as the real goodbye, and it comes just after things got turbulent on stage. At a recent London show, Daltrey stopped mid-song, clearly agitated because he couldn't hear. "All I can hear is boom, boom, boom," he said, gesturing in frustration as the band came to a halt.
I can't sing to that. I'm sorry, guys. This is a...
Fans were stunned and the clip spread fast. Then came the Zack Starky situation. Without warning, reports surfaced that longtime drummer, since the mid-90s, was fired. A few days later, The Who publicly denied it, confusing fans even more.
Needless to say, the last few weeks in my life, I've felt like I've been starring in an episode of The Twilight Zone. I feel I've been reading about me in the press, doing things that I don't remember ever doing.
If you were around in 1982, you definitely knew The Who was retiring. That first 1982 farewell tour was a spectacle. Giant stadiums, beer sponsors, pay-per-view events, and a very public goodbye that didn't stick.
As the anticipation mounts outside the concert hall, the crowd compares distance traveled to determine the most loyal fans.
320 miles from Madison, North Carolina.
Charlotte, North Carolina. That's about 350 miles.
People around here might think I'm a little crazy, driving 1,200 miles away from East North Brooklyn.
Excellent. The best. The best.
And it took a great beer like Schlitz to bring The Who to America. Schlitz rocks America.
Fans who began lining up at the stadium around 4:30 in the afternoon. By 6 p.m. today, the stadium was nearly full with 50,000 rock and rollers that came to say farewell to one of the industry's most powerful groups. One person we spoke to even said he flew all the way in from Guam for this event. The concert began right at 5 with warm-up acts John Cougar and Loverboy, but this is what the fans came to see. There were only isolated incidents involving drugs and alcohol, but security was quick, tight, and extremely effective in quashing any questionable activity before it got out of hand.
You could buy a t-shirt that said, "The Last Tour," then catch them again 7 years later. That farewell run came 4 years after they lost Keith Moon, the manic, explosive, and irreplaceable engine of The Who. Moon died in 1978, just as Who Are You was released. He was only 32. The Who were never the same. And then came John Antwistle, the Ox, the quiet one, but also the most technically dangerous bass player in the game. Antwistle died suddenly and shockingly also, the night before a Vegas show in 2002.
Antwistle and The Who were scheduled to begin a tour in Las Vegas tomorrow. Now, obviously, The Who is one of the most legendary bands in rock and roll, and Antwistle was one of the most influential rock bassists who ever lived. Just a remarkable player, a remarkable band. And guys, we're hearing now, latest reports are that he was found dead in his hotel room at the Hard Rock Cafe, or at the Hard Rock Casino and Hotel in Las Vegas, where The Who was scheduled to perform. They were scheduled to kick off a summer tour. Again, I will have full details on tomorrow's newscast, and I'll be back in a moment with some more music news.
This is shocking.
It absolutely is, and this was a revitalized too. They were going out again, and just again, we cannot overstate the importance of The Who to rock and roll, and the fact that John Antwistle was one of the most influential rock bassists who ever lived.
Okay, Dave.
All right, Dave, more details tomorrow.
We'll talk to you a little bit later.
Other moments still hang heavy, like Cincinnati 1979, where 11 fans were trampled outside a Who concert before the show even began. The band didn't even know what happened until the show was over. The absolute shocking horror of that night permanently changed how concerts are managed in America.
You think that's ridiculous? You can still go in there if you got a ticket after 9 people are supposed to be dead in there?
Did you have family there?
I've got 2 children in there. I got a daughter 15, a son 21. I can't go in. I'd get buy a $100 ticket right now if I get in there, but he says that's the only way I can get in there.
Do you think they should stop the concert?
I think it should be closed down.
People would not stop. They had intercoms going, move back, and nobody would move. Oh, it's a wreck in there.
Despite everything The Who endured, My Generation made them famous, Tommy made them groundbreaking, and Live at Leeds made them immortal. Through fights, losses, and comebacks, they became something more than just another British invasion band. They were a force of nature. Even now, at the edge of their final tour, Townshend admits he's never loved touring, but the stage still has a hypnotic grip.
I've never really been crazy about touring, but being on the road is not a great way to live. You know, you leave your family behind us.
Daltrey called the American audience the dream.
Everybody's dream was to make it successfully in America. Every musician, young musician's dream was that act, because that was where we first heard the pulses of rock music coming from. America take us to its hearts. It meant so much, and you've been so loyal to us, and I hope we've given back to you in the same manner. It's got to come to an end one day, because there's something about the way each music is written and the way it's shaped and the sentiment behind it. It doesn't seem to age.
Tim is a Milwaukee disc jockey and an avid Who fan. When The Who announced the dates for the farewell tour and Milwaukee wasn't included, Tim was mad. The Who had never played in Milwaukee, and they were passing up the city once again. To stage a protest, Tim announced on his radio show that he'd camp out on the ledge of his office building until The Who scheduled a Milwaukee concert. And after 15 days on the ledge, Tim finally got his wish when he got a phone call from Roger Daltrey.
We got to stop Billy Squire. We have to go to the ledge where Tim, the rock and roll animal, is talking live on the phone.
Oh, you are? That's excellent. That's excellent. I'm ecstatic.
On the 6th of December.
December 6th, you're going to play here in Milwaukee. I'm ecstatic.
The of The Who was raw, completely changing rock music, shocking those at Monterey Pop who saw them for the first time. They gave the world punk rock before it even had a name, concept albums before they were cool, and live performances that felt like controlled demolition. With The Song Is Over tour, the curtain finally seems ready to fall. For real this time. No Keith or John, and maybe soon, no more Roger and Pete. Strange to imagine a world without The Who. Not only did we grow up, but we grew old with The Who. But if history tells us anything, we'll probably be right back here again for the 2027. Absolutely. No, seriously. This is the last one. Tour. And if so, we'll be there. Please hit like and subscribe if you haven't already. We thank you for watching Rock Buzz.